Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I'm your host, Conrad Cushman, rolling solo dolo tonight. Make sure you send Derek your well wishes. We have a lot to get into in regards to AEW news, AEW Dynamite, and maybe even at the end of the stream, we might talk a little WWE 2K23. Might do a stream for it tomorrow as well. I'm debating right now on what we should do with that. But please make it known that you guys want to be here. Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. Show some love. We're going to hit this intro, and then we're going to get ready to talk some All Elite Wrestling.
Everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
Yes. We had ourselves a wonderful episode of Dynamite tonight, if I could say so myself. What is going on, everybody? Like I said in the beginning, man, make sure you guys are locked in with us. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, tonight's Dynamite was something else. You kind of went in knowing what you were going to get, but I thought tonight's show was enjoyable. Like, me and Sean were texting before the show. Shout out to Sean Hubbard, Clash of the Podcast, every Monday, 6:05. He's got a merch store going up March 1st. Check him out. Get a shirt. Show him some love. We were talking before this, and it was the idea or the hopes of should we be expecting a lot from this card? And Sean was excited for it. And I said, this is a good card. Like, you would just think like, oh, it's Dynamite. They're going to kind of go through the motions. These guys go out there and they bust their backsides every single night for us. And I have nothing but appreciation for that, for the AEW roster. Like, the depth of this roster is unreal. Like, it's so good. And and there's still people we feel like aren't showcased enough. The roster is really, really good. Let's show some love here to the people in the chat. My man Terrell, first one in here. They did the WCW ending with Wardlow. Love it though, right? This is the greatest night in wrestling history in Panama, Florida. The moan in Keddy's ear. Yo, bro, I was crying when they did that. CJ, you got to go to the Die Hard movie night with the Blade. Let me know what night it is on and when he does it. Send me the info for that, B-boy. Appreciate you, fam. Eric says that was bullish with Darby. We'll talk about it. Also, WWE 2K23 showcase this weekend on Up, Up, Down, Down. Okay. Did they say what they're showing for it? I know that he just had the Cody entrance on there. Matt Lopez says, good evening, everybody. What is good? BJ says, AEW's hitting its stride again. And how's it going to everybody? What's up, Beach? I hope things are well with you, my brother. Greatly appreciate you. Check out BJ's got a Facebook group called Run the Ropes. Show him some love. Wild main event. I agree, Matt. We'll get into that towards the end of the show here. I think I saw the green comment this evening. Nice. You know what was also pretty dope? Speaking of green, James Gunn making the announcement about all the DC moves that they're making. I'm kind of excited for a lot of them. I don't want to get too deep into it, but James Gunn's bringing that fire back to DC, and I hope that we can all start getting into it. Really hyped for Swamp Thing, Waller. We got the Green Lantern stuff. We got the Joker, Batman. Really good stuff coming up with that. I cannot wait for all of that. Let's see here. Look up, everyone. What up? XG Dub, what's good, fam? Positively E in the house. What is good, E? Rated R Tokyo Power Slap. Nah, fam. Power Slap is straight trash. Straight trash. Dude, we talk about concussion protocol in sports. Who signed up to get a concussion doing that? No. That show gets no ratings from me. I actually was mad at myself that I had dropped the remote so that I couldn't turn fast enough to get off of it so that they didn't get viewership from me. Like, I'm being dead serious. Like, not a fan of that. Eddie from Impact Wrestling. I don't know what we're referring to here. I think they're talking about Eddie Edwards. They're talking about Eddie Kingston here. Who's comparing Jamie Hayter and Rhea Ripley? Deanna, how are you, Deanna? Welcome in. I thought of you when we in the main event. I mentioned your name while I was watching the show. Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. There's the guy right there. Blessings, brother Conrad. Off screen, Derek. Glad to be at the best AEW review on YouTube. My guy, you don't have to say that, but I'll take it. Prediction: Billy Gunn clearly going to hand deliver the titles to his sons. More on that momentarily. That's an interesting one. Jonelle, what's up, man? Good to have you in here, Jonelle. Hope things are well, brother. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Cray has joined us. What up? Power Slap is gutter trash. People been getting slapped in the streets for years. For real. Power Slap is getting a pay-per-view. I hope that's a joke, Matt. Don't even play like that. Deanna said, please don't mess up Swamp Thing. I hope not, man. I used to love the cartoon as a kid. So I was a big fan of Swamp Thing. I used to have the action figures and all that. Oh, yes. Matt Lopez. Excited to see live action Damian Wayne. For real, man. If this channel ever gets big enough, man, that would what I would want the like Patreon content to be, like non-wrestling stuff. So pretty dope, man. Really dope. The show by Dana White. Yeah. Garbage. Power slap garbage. Not a fan of the moves they're making. So listen. We're going to get into some new stuff as well with this. Let's start off with some AEW news here. We have AEW House Rules. They're going to be going on tour. So they are going to be in Troy, Ohio, Saturday, March 18th, 7 p.m. bell time. Tickets go on sale in 2 days at 10 a.m. They're going to be in the Hobart Arena. This is pretty cool. Now, Tony Khan made it official right here. I had this sent to me in an email. I thought that this was so cool that Tony Khan announces that they're going to be doing live event stuff now. I look forward to this. I don't know. Me and Rob were kind of talking about it in text when we first saw it announced. I would love to see them come to some of the smaller venues. See, Buffalo, our issue is that we have either like the football stadium, the hockey arena, but we don't have that really like mid-sized arena for people to go to. And I think, and if anybody ever wants to build it, holla at your boy. We can make an investment. We got like smaller venues that are classics too, like the Trelf and things like that. But I would really love for a medium-sized venue that could hold like wrestling, concerts, things like that. And I really think that they could do something interesting here with that. If they could get AEW to come to like some of the local areas and do some things. Ring of Honor used to come to a place nearby here, and I think it would be fan-freaking-tastic if they were able to do that. Let me see. I think when we were bringing it up, Rob mentioned, Riverworks is where they would come. It's like a bar kind of place. Like you could sit down, drink beer and stuff, but you could put a wrestling ring in the middle and people could be up top sitting down and you could be sitting at the bottom. And ROH, if you ever see any of those like recent ones, like Global Wars, we were at all those shows and it was always fun, man. Always fun to get in there. It's a small, intimate crowd. But if you've never been to like a smaller wrestling show, do it. And if you've never been to a bigger one, do it. I'm telling you. And if you've never been to a WrestleMania and you were ever like a WWE fan, I'm telling you, do it. Like, check out the different crowds. It's a different experience all the time when you see it. Dead serious. Well worth it. I'm glad that Jeff Jarrett's helping out with this. I think that this could be a power move and a great team up. Are you going to see all your favorite stars? I think you split it up amongst them, and then you get some of the guys who need to get the extra work in. Let them do it. And this will probably save people from trying to find indie dates that don't coincide and have problems with your dates. So we'll see what happens with this. If anybody goes to one of these, let me know, man, because I would love to hear what you thought of it. Dead serious. Let me see here. Gunn was my pick. I can't wait to see the Flash movie, Conrad. I hear you, Eric. I hear you. That should be good too. Looks like the DCAU Tim. Yeah. I'm excited, E. I'm excited. Tokyo seems excited for the house shows too. Deanna said that's North Dayton. Yeah, that's in your neck of the woods, Deanna. I don't know if you're going to go to that show. I don't know if that's far away from where you are, but that'd be interesting. Don't say if the channel gets big enough. When the channel gets big enough, speak things into existence. Cray, you are 1,000% correct. 1,000%. When the channel grows, we will have that happen. I still don't like the removing of Cavill. Yeah, listen, they had to make some moves. You had to kind of start fresh. I get why they did it. I wish it was a joke. Power Slap finals on pay-per-view in March in UFC, Apex in Vegas. I would love to see the numbers for those because they're going to be terrible. I think it's good bringing them to smaller markets. Yeah. AEW should run the Hammerstein. Matt, they should run the Hammerstein for a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. We've been talking about this for a while. Hammerstein's one of the best venues. Shout out to Brandon. Whopper, 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 whopper. Sick. What's going on, bro? What's happening, brother? We were talking a little WWE 2K23 earlier. We're in the debate stage of like, are we putting this money down? What are we doing with this? I'm pretty sure we will, but interesting. Come to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Cray said, I've missed my live wrestling since moving from Pittsburgh, and my son is now getting into it. Definitely tweet them, Cray, on Twitter, man. Let me know. Tag me. I'll retweet it for you. Empire State Wrestling runs Riverworks in Buffalo. Beautiful venue. Appreciate it, Matt. You should come up if you ever get the chance to, man. I haven't been in a while. Oh, y'all talking DCEU? I don't care either. Way MCU boys up. Man, come on, man. You got to be a little excited for some of it, man. Demond McKinney, yo, I'm just here to listen. Didn't get a chance to watch, but I'll peek at IG on the side. What up, Demond? Cody intro weren't all that hot where the gameplay, the graphics meant nada. Where's the Cody Vader? Hopefully, I'm hoping that was just like an arena issue. I don't know, man. Six, I don't know, man. I think I found a new love in Marvel Snap. He said that too. Maybe I got to get down on this game, man. Let me know if I got to put some bread into it or not. We'll talk offline about that. Let's get into some of this Dynamite, man. If you guys get a chance to check out the house shows, though, like I said, dead serious. Put me on. Here is the card that we had for the night. We didn't know how they were going to start this thing. We didn't know what they were going to do first, what the plans were for any of this. So we ended up starting with the match that I thought we would, but I didn't think it would go down the way that it did either. So this one is interesting. You've got Adam Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley. Now, if you guys have been listening to me for weeks, I've been saying that I didn't think this match was going to happen. I didn't think we were going to get a real conclusion to this matchup. Why? Why are you giving this away for free? This is a pay-per-view match. I thought that this would be one of the ones that we see at a huge show like Revolution. Maybe this will go to a lights out match. I don't know. And I can't tell if this is going to continue or what. But Moxley makes his entrance with Wheeler Yuta and his father by his side. Pretty cool moment for Moxley. He's in his home state. And in the beginning of the match, they start outside. They're just brawling on the outside. They're using weapons. Moxley got a chair thrown at his face, cuts his head open. He got a cut right above his right eye. Page paints his body with Moxley's blood, and that's always a little when you see somebody do that. But he's putting the blood all over him, wiping it on himself. And both men end up on the outside after a missed moonsault. Yo, shout out to Page, too, for the balance that he had. He was, like, tipping backwards, and he was able to still keep his balance. Moxley clotheslines his head off, though, and not literally, but he takes him out. He's knocked out cold from that. And this leads to Moxley getting pop-up powerbomb through the table. He just picked him up, dropped him through the table on the outside. Dead eye on Moxley, but he only gets a 2 count for that. Hangman then, who uses a tombstone pile driver and a buckshot lariat. Jon Moxley kicks out. Is that the first time someone's kicked out of the buckshot lariat in AEW? Chat, let me know. I can't think of anyone else who's kicked out of it, at least off the top of my head. So buckshot lariat happens. He's down. He kicks out. Moxley's still hanging in there. And then they're going back and forth. And Moxley did this weird snapmare into a pin. Like he snapmared him over, but he trapped his leg. And then he gets the win. I loved it. I thought that I was like, William Regal's proud of that match when he goes back to watch this. I thought this was really fun. BCC and Hangman then afterwards exchange words like Claudio and Yuta are pushing each other and him. I wonder if this could lead to a match, maybe like a trios match between them and Hangman and the Dark Order. I don't know what the plans are for this. If you guys have thoughts in the chat, let me know. Where are they going with Hangman and Moxley? Matt Lopez is in first. He says, this was a great one. Could easily see 2 out of 3 falls at Revolution. Okay. I don't think anyone has since Page has used it as his finisher. I don't think so either. I could not think of. So when Moxley kicked out, I was kind of shocked. Deanna said Claudio was not having it tonight. Claudio's a beast. Cray said DCU will be dope. Gunn is a comic fan and a good writer. He'll make the movie that need to be rated R. Swamp Thing. Everything doesn't need to be PG-13 like MCU. Watch Gunn's Super and Brightburn. Okay. He kicked out of a tombstone pile driver. No, it was the tombstone and then the buckshot lariat, and he kicked out. But remember, I don't know if you guys saw the build up to it in the YouTube videos, but Moxley said he was going to bring it tonight. Like he was like, I'm not losing to this guy. Like I refuse to go out again like I did last time. B-Boy says Hangman rejoins the group. Which group are you referring to? I don't know if he's talking about the Dark Order group that he was in, or if he's talking about the Elites. Let's see here. I thought I had another comment in. Okay, Deanna said Hangman goes Elite. Terrell said MCU is PG-13 because of Disney, not Marvel. Okay, all right. I don't want to start any turf wars or anything in here, so I feel the MCU and DC fans, they always got it with each other. It's good. I like both. To be truthful with you guys. Let me see here. Guns Guardian of the Galaxy films are balanced with heart, comedy, and action. Think of how many people knew about that too beforehand. Like that's why Gunn got the CEO gig that he did. Moving on then from that matchup here. Samoa Joe and Darby Allin cut a promo on each other. They're doing a build-up hype package for our main event, and that TNT Championship match is announced as the main event. Then we go backstage with the Bunny. Allie is there with the Butcher and the Blade, and they're talking to Jamie Hayter, and she is requesting a match with the champ. And it is agreed to, but then Renee Young says, oh, something's happening backstage. Can we put it up on the television screen? Britt Baker is being attacked backstage by Saraya and Tony Storm. They're putting a beat down saying, where are you, Jamie? And they basically beat up Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She's getting the beat down right then and there. I like this. I thought this was a different way to incorporate something happening. I like that they had the talking segment. No one interrupted. They spoke face to face, and then it was like, okay. And then they cut into something happening backstage. Well done. BJ said, so a few thoughts, took me a minute to type it. If the AEW house shows are run like TNA and ROH, they will absolutely be worth it. You'll get to meet and interact with a lot of the talent. And that was in that press release. If you guys got a chance to take a look at it. Yeah, they definitely have some great moments to interact with talent. The Ring of Honor shows allowed me to meet some of the New Japan guys and just Ring of Honor wrestlers in general, even if it was the Elite Bullet Club. It was pretty cool. So I agree with BJ. Matt says, I like DC and Marvel too. See, you can like more. The Bunny gets TV time. Yeah, Bunny's great. I would love to see Butcher and Blade get some more TV time too. Women, Blood and Guts. WWE versus AEW girls. I want to see Hayter versus Saraya. I think we'll get there eventually, Eric. Patience will be key with it. That's it. Hangman versus Mox was so good. This is the type of fight that deserves to be best of 7, unlike the trio stuff. I don't know if I want to see best of 7 with them, but I did like this match a lot. Like, now listen, you guys know I've been giving Hangman and the Elite a tough time since Brawl Out or Gripe Bomb, whatever you want to call it. This was a good match though tonight by them, like by Page. I have to give it up. Like, I thought it was very well done. So cap off to Hangman. Terrell says, I'm telling you, people, Ruby is working with Saraya and Storm. It's going to be Saraya, Storm, Ruby, Athena, and Mercedes versus Britt, Jamie, Rebel, Willow Nightingale, and Sheeta. Woo! Okay. Terrell, hold it down with that. Hold it down. I know, but I'm just saying it's like a breath of fresh air. I'm a comic fan, so I like Marvel and DC. I don't want no problems. And little scrappy voice. I got Suzuki, Takahashi, and Kenny picks and autographs thanks to ROH shows. Nice, Beach. Nice. I don't think I had Kenny at any of mine. He was always off, but I definitely got to see like Sonata perform. Yeah, it's great, dude. I love those shows when they were doing them. Next up, we had the Acclaimed. Platinum Max on the mic doing his thing. He came out, he said something about Tom Brady's retirement. You know how he's doing it. It's the babyface stuff that they always come through with. The Acclaimed, the World Tag Team Champions, are out there. They make quick work of a tag team called the Outrunners. Make sure you guys keep an eye on them. They seem like they've been a pretty interesting team on Dark lately, but they did a good job tonight putting over everything that the Acclaim had to do. We got early scissor shenanigans between them, and then they got scissor with the leg drop move that they do, and then we got the mic drop with the combo of their tag moves, and it was over. Done. The Acclaim get the win. After the match, though, out come the Guns. And the Guns weren't looking like the ass boys tonight. They were kind of upset. They come out, and Austin Gunn found a way to disrespect his father. And he said, listen, we want a shot at the tag titles. The Acclaim said no. And then Billy Gunn's like, listen, I'm sick of all this. I'm done with it. And he starts walking away. And Austin Gunn said, walk away like you always have on us. And then he said something about you can drown your sorrows in the pill bottle. I'm not using the exact verbiage. Billy got really pissed about that, and he got back into the ring and said, you guys want the tag title match? Next week, you've got it. And he kind of just accepted the match on behalf of the Acclaimed, who said no. So this is feeding into some of the theories that people brought up in the chat. Is Billy getting ready to turn? I don't know. Maybe. Matt Lopez, B-Boy said Mox needs some time off. Maybe he'll get it soon. He's been crushing, though. Matt Lopez says, I'm still swapping out Rebel for Thunder Rosa. I can't wait to see the Flash movie, someone just said. Thunder Rosa will still lose. Ain't nobody on Brit Squad defeating Mercedes. Money. Just peeped. Why is Ruby trying to be friends with Britt? This angle is paper thin unless they totally swerve us. I don't know. This is one of the more interesting angles, I think, on AEW right now. I'm interested to see where they go with this. They're trying to tell a story. Britt doesn't trust Ruby either, but Ruby's a babyface, and it seems like they're the faces in this. So that's what I'm saying. It's a trap, Terrell says. All the mic malfunctions. Maybe TK should make a storyline for the return of CM Punk. Make it happen every so often for months until the Elite cut a promo in the ring and cut the mic, and then the return of Punk. Could do that. Yes, that's going to be a good one too, Matt Lopez. Ant-Man 3. Can't wait. So we got ourselves a tag title match for next week. Should be interesting. I'm going to take a drink of water here for the people listening on the audio version. Excuse me. Voice is crushing me today. I did a podcast with the Pro Wrestling Shoot yesterday. I was the guest on there, so make sure you guys check that out as well. Next up, we had ourselves a one of those matches where someone's going to be able to prove themselves. It was Konosuke Takeshita versus the ROH World Six-Man Champion Brian Cage. He's been getting a lot of TV time, but rumor has it his contract is up, so they're probably trying to get him to re-sign, so give him that TV time. Takeshita starts off with a good set of offense with the clotheslines, but he gets cut down early by Cage on the outside. He uses a power bomb into the back of the ring post. Sometimes the world of outside is the heel's best friend. So after that power bomb, Cage is on offense for a little bit. Takeshita finally hits a beautiful stalling German suplex. Like, I loved it. Great on the tippy toes. I know Tiff from Indies Wrestling Corner would appreciate it. After that, we saw a nice Liger bomb, as Excalibur called it. It was more like just a power bomb, but that's what ended up happening. And Takeshita gets the victory with a running knee for the dub in this one. I like it. He needed the big win. How do you guys feel about the running knee as a finisher for him? It was different. Definitely William Regal-esque for what they did there with that. Let's see. We got some comments coming in here. Please keep CM garbage away from AEW, Terrell says. Come on now. Can't front, man. The man was a draw for AEW. All right. I'm excited they're doing a big proper storyline for the women's division. McKinney says, so that means Ruby will turn on Willow first. I'll be cheering for that. Takeshita is a superstar. That boy in 2 years will hold the belt. I think he holds one by the end of this year. I can see him. I predict that he becomes the Ring of Honor champion. Some people said the All Atlantic. Yeah. Then, dude, we got a weird promo here. So then we get the Jericho Appreciation Society. I don't know, man. Am I the only one like tired of them? And it's not everybody in the group. I'm just tired of the group and Jericho's long feuds. Like, I just want this feud with Ricky to be over immediately. Am I weird? I don't know. Basically, they set up to have the Garcia Guevara Gauntlet. I don't know if we're calling it the Triple G. Shout out to my man Triple G. But they're going to be doing that and basically saying Ricky Starks needs to defeat everybody in the JAS to get another match with Chris Jericho. And they kind of laid out the order for it and everything. What? Ricky already beat him. Be done with this. Be done with this. That's how I feel. Where's the rest of the ROH 6-man? I like the other guy who is an actual Prince of Cameroon. I don't know where they've been lately. They must be off getting ready for Ring of Honor. Garcia needs to leave the JAS. I think that time will come. This group is tired for me. Let's just get Starks versus Jericho. Jericho needs a rest. I feel like they're holding Starks back. He feels like he's in a holding pattern. Tokyo said, end this. Jocelyn, I hope she gives me permission to do this one time. I'll do it for Derek since he isn't here. Ricky. Gotta make him wait for it. Spanish. See? One time for the one time, Derek. That was for you, brother. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to, like, I feel like I'm crapping on Jericho, but I'm not, though. I'm not. Like, I don't know. I'm just not intrigued at this point with it. You know, we're talking about like CM Punk being CM garbage in the chat. No. Not when I see crap like this on TV and I'm like, yo, dog, bring back CM Punk. And to me, the locker room is so divisive when it comes to it. Like, how many people are coming out with good stories about him now? Like, what is this? You believe what you want. Believe half what you want, half of what you hear, because you don't know what the truth is. But at this point, who knows? Someone said plagiarism. I'm trying to give the people what they want. Deanna said LOL. I think JS is going to end with a match between Garcia and Sammy. Garcia's going to eventually drop Sammy because he's going to be so sick of him. Thank you, McKinney. Thank you. You better appreciate the JAS. I apologize, good sir. I apologize. There's so much to be thankful for with them. So much. Afterwards, this is where we get B-Boy Skyline's moment of the night. What color the JS have on tonight? I don't remember. Jericho was definitely wearing like some jeans. I don't think there was like a real color theme. They were all kind of rocking something different. Promo for B-Boy. The Elite are on a basketball court and they're talking about it. And they said, yeah, we're going to give a trios match to Top Flight and AR Fox. And they said, shoot your shot. And they gave the basketball to Nick Jackson. He shoots it, makes the basket. And then you get Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy, and the man formerly known as Malcolm Bivens, Stokely Hathaway. And they come over and they cut a promo. And it's basically them asking for a match with the trios team for Rampage. They accept, and Isaiah Cassidy and Kenny and all them go back and forth. He's like, you know what? You better be ready for us on Rampage. And he was like, you know why? And then he like got real close to his ear and he just went, oh. And I'm just, if you've ever seen those prank videos where the kid does that in people's ears, it's so terrible because there's been a couple times where I thought people were actually legit going to kick that dude's ass for doing it. But Isaiah Cassidy just randomly did it. And I laughed. I popped. I don't know why I laughed at this. It was funny. It was funny. Isaiah Cassidy finds little ways to stand out, man. Remember when Private Party was going to be seen as like a top act in this company? I think we got to get them back there, man. And I hope Mark Quinn's not injured or something because I kind of miss Private Party as a team in these situations. But we're moving forward with this. No Anna Jay news. I haven't heard anything. Anna Jay and Ty Mello were not in the backstage segment either. I don't think Jake Hager was either. Only thing I appreciate is Hager got a personality over a hat. Purple bucket hat saved him for Deanna. BJ says, I'm so over the JAS. Takeshita versus Ibushi on AEW is my prediction. I will take it. I will take it. Let me see here. Counter, I have a running theory that if MJF attacks JR during an interview, and I think it will happen, we will see Stone Cold crossover Forbidden Door opens. You're having a vision right there, brother. I don't know if Steve's ready to. I don't know how he has to have a contract on the other side of things. I would love to see it, but I don't know if we would see it. Anna Jay and they're heading to the cruise, Jericho cruise. Oh yeah, it's February. Jeez Louise, look at that. I want Ibushi versus Danielson. I'll take that too. Give Danielson whoever he wants to wrestle at this point. He calls him out, you make it happen. Keep that man happy. Next up, speaking of Bryan Danielson takes on Timothy Thatcher. Bruh, the yuck mouth on this man, Timothy Thatcher. Great wrestler, though. He's got a wrestler's look. That is not a nice man you would want to run into down a dark alley. Timothy Thatcher is out there, old Snaggletooth Thatcher, and he is ready to put on a wrestling clinic with Bryan Danielson. We all know the focus of this match. It is the left shoulder. Bryan Danielson's arm has been worked on, and that is what the purpose of this is. And like I mentioned last week, Thatcher's finishing move is the same as MJF's Fujiwara armbar, or the salt of the earth, as MJF calls it. They're going to definitely be making that a focus for that Revolution match. That is part of this story. We got some good chain wrestling in here. Danielson lands a big drop kick off the top rope. They exchange some European uppercuts. A sleeper is applied, backing into the ref. What do we get? A ref bump. No surprise there. The ref goes down and turns his head away from the action. Here comes MJF kissing the Dynamite diamond ring, ready to lay out Danielson. But Takeshita comes from out of nowhere in a hoodie and starts beefing with MJF. They go to the back. Danielson's able to duck a clothesline. Running knee to Timothy Thatcher. He vanquishes another opponent. Danielson gets the win here in another solid wrestling match. But then we cut to backstage. MJF and Takeshita are brawling into the back. People are getting thrown into crates. I saw MJF pick up a trash can, and then people are coming in to try to separate them. And Renee says Tony Khan made an eliminator match for next week between you two. So MJF now has a match with Takeshita. This is going to be good. Good stuff. I'm excited to see this match next week. He definitely deserves it. Let me see here. B-Boy says Tim needs that Manscaped. Well, if he needs that Manscaped, you know who's got him covered? Your boys. Everything Pro Wrestling. Use our promo code EPW Show. We got it covered for you guys. Put the promo code in, save 20% on all Manscaped items. I'm told they have beard trimmers now, so make sure you guys go over there. Head on over and get that stuff. Also, they have some ball deodorant, nose hair trimmers, boxers, lots of things that you can get into. It makes for a great birthday gift. Also, you guys can go over there, get whatever you need, and share it with somebody. It works. It's great. I love it. Manscaped produces some great products. I would highly, highly recommend that. And I would also highly recommend checking out some free independent wrestling. We were talking about some of those independent shows earlier with AEW beginning to do house shows. Powerslam.tv is a wrestling network. They show independent pro wrestling. If you guys go on there, you probably get some of the shows after the fact, but they got it covered. Powerslam.tv shows some of your best indie wrestling shows. Go in there, check it out. If you've ever wanted to see an indie show back, I'm sure they've got it up there. Our promo code gets you 1 month for free. All right. So make sure you guys do that. We got a promo here for Mogul Affiliates. That is Swerve's crew. They were out in these streets doing their thing. I really thought Swerve and Dustin Rhodes had a good promo on Rampage last week, with Swerve basically disrespecting Dustin Rhodes and disrespecting the Rhodes family. He was like, yeah, your brother sucks, your daddy sucks, you suck, and I'm just making up, but it was really harsh words exchanged between them. And we all know Dustin's getting ready to retire, so let Dustin have that retirement tour right now. Let him go out there and work with some guys that he wants to. I really like it. And they said Dustin's not here this week, so they're going to beat up another generational superstar or wrestler, and that's Brian Pillman Jr. So on Rampage, Swerve versus Brian Pillman. I think it's Swerve. They didn't really say. They said that one of them will take him on. And we also found out the man's name who's been standing besides Parker. It's going to be Trench. Don't know how I feel about that, but listen, I'm willing to give Mogul Affiliates a chance. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they do. After this, we get MJF making his nice payment to Roosh. He went backstage and let him know that there's more dinero if you make sure you take out Bryan Danielson's arm and you win the match next week. And then it's announced Roosh versus Bryan Danielson next week. So I'm in. I'm cool. We're going to be talking about that here next week live. And shout out to B-Boy for the Manscaped ad. This was such a good catch wrestling match. Austin's not coming to AEW. Great wrestling match, Matt Lopez says. Deanna says Takeshita is going to stomp MJF, but let me see here. But he will win and shine, I think is what she wanted to put in there. MJF was so mad he thought he didn't have to wrestle until Revolution. Not this time. Toothless Timmy. He's not cosmetically pleasing either, but he got signed by the WWE. Yeah, he's a good wrestler. Takeshita will stomp MJF, but won't win, but still shine. Okay. Ibushi versus Speedball is going to be sick for GCW. I'm just glad Ibushi's back wrestling. He's been released. I think his plan's going to be he's going to go back to the free agent market. I think he realized why he wanted to stay a free agent. I think it's all been like ruined for him, you know. He ain't going to want to be bothered with all that mess after that. Let me see here. Next up, we have ourselves the big who was in the background laughing during that MJF promo as he spoke Spanish. Yo, I don't know what he was doing. Speedball is going to be at ESW in March. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, Speedball's been everywhere lately, man. Shout out to Speedball. I think he was someone who was in contender for Wrestler of the Year. Dead serious. And you know what? Before we get to the TBS Championship match, don't forget Ring of Honor. Supercard of Honor is coming up Friday, March 31st in Los Angeles, California. Looks like they're going to be doing one of those early start times again for the show. Looking forward to it. Ring of Honor is always fun around WrestleMania weekend. Let's see what they do. It's going to be fun. You got a lot of wrestling on Friday now that I think about it. So you're going to have a lot of wrestling on Friday. And then from there, we'll be making some moves and getting to see WrestleMania that weekend. Hyped. I'm looking forward to it, man. Hopefully I'll have some coverage for you guys during that time period. Can't wait. Moving on. TBS Championship match. Jade Cargill versus one of her first opponents. Actually, I think it was her first opponent in AEW, Red Velvet. I know that she started in a tag match with Shaq and Red Velvet replaced Brandy, but these two have been kind of locked at the hip since then. And I tried to throw it out there that, hey, listen, you don't know what's going to happen in this match. Yo, oh yeah. When MJF said translate, and he even mentioned mid, he was like, my Spanish is how do you say mid? And he was like, he said, yeah, what he's translate dipshit, and I was like, wow, crazy. Yeah, MJF was wilding in that segment. Speedball versus Josh Alexander signed for Prestige Wrestling's debut in New Jersey. Cool. So listen, Red Velvet and Jade, let me get back to this. They've been tied to the hip since they've both started in AEW. In this, Red Velvet at one point in time was one of the baddies here, and Jade is trying to go 50-0. And I did say, I was like, listen, I know that we're not saying, I did not predict Jade was going to lose this, but I said the possibility was there with Red Velvet being in the match because of their close history and connection. What did they do here? Red Velvet starts off, she gets the early jump on Jade, gets a little offense in. They're battling back and forth, and then we go to a picture-in-picture. I'm sure Derek is somewhere complaining about that because he hates picture-in-picture. Kiera Hogan comes out and takes out Layla Gray, the other baddie that's at ringside, and we get a close 2 count for Red Velvet. Red Velvet goes for a sunset flip. Jade is about to fall back. She's doing the whoa, puts her arms down, grabs her by the throat, yokes her up right into, and the yoke up was into Jaded, caught her again, picks her up, drops her down. 1, 2, 3. Jade is 50-0. The 5-0 is here. Love Jade's theme. Jade is the total package, and we moved on. Jade gets 50 W's and still has not lost. She has made that TBS championship a big deal. She's held on to it for over a year. I don't know who's taking it from Jade, man. I don't know if they've got someone planned yet. I mean, they've booked her really strong. Terrell says Jade is 50-0. I've said it before and I say it again. She's going to break Goldberg's record, then Asuka's. Woo! That's a long time as the champ. Goldberg's numbers are inflated though. So do you mean the real record? Or are you talking about that 170? I think he got to like 170 something before they ended it. McKinney's over here talking about, can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. I love that people thought that was Charlie Wilson. That drink cracked me up. Then they got Charlie Wilson to sing it. Shout out to Thanksgiving food, man. Best holiday. We get another women's division segment. We got Britt Baker following up with the attack, and then Ruby Soho showed up. And this is what we were talking about in the chat earlier. Ruby Soho shows up, and it gets a little awkward. She's like, what are you doing here? Do you trust Ruby or do you not? The chat's debating it. I can't wait. I'm just buckled in. I'm here for the ride at this point. You tell me what you guys want to do. This is one of the more intriguing. The women's division is becoming my favorite division. Like, I am intrigued right now with what they are doing. I want to see the women get blood and guts. Give them the match. I want that to be the Dynamite. They get the last hour and they just get to go in and go ham. I think that would be so much fun. Let me see here. Nobody's taking it from Jade. She will do what Asuka did. She will make a record, vacate it, and go after the AEW women's title. Oh, I mean the real record for Goldberg. Fair point then, Terrell. I have a theory. What if Toni Storm takes the title off of her in a screwy finish to weave Jade into the homegrown versus superstar storyline? Ooh, I like it. Matt Lopez is putting focus on Jade if they do that. That makes Jade one of the X factors within. That could be interesting. Deanna said Ruby is sneaky. Sneaky. I don't know what Ruby's intentions are with this. I feel like Ruby's been a babyface for a long time in both companies, too. Very long time. Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy versus the Elite will happen on AEW Rampage. We got Swerve Strickland versus Brian Pillman Jr. on Rampage. Saraya and Toni Storm will be in tag team action on Rampage. And we're getting Roosh versus Christopher Daniels. Rampage sounds like it could be a fun show again. Looking forward to it on Friday. Chat, if you watch Rampage every Friday, has Rampage not been better? I know that usually people were coming on here and even me, I was like, yeah, Rampage is just meh. It's just kind of there. And I know those matches don't sound super exciting, but they're getting some people some reps in the meantime. getting someone a win. We'll see what they do with that. But I'm interested in it. I just think Rampage has been better lately, and I kind of feel like you gotta give them some praise when they're doing right. I wish the time slot was different. I wish they had more time, but cool. Let me see here. Oh, Tokyo says that Chris Statlander is going to be the one to take down Jade. That's what I thought before. We got to make sure Stat can stay healthy, but I would like to see that. Matt Lopez says Rampage has been better lately to him. Okay. I agree. I think it has been too. Moving on to other matches. So next week we're getting Roosh versus Bryan Danielson. We have the AEW tag title match with the Guns versus the Acclaimed. MJF versus Konosuke Takeshita. The Guevara Garcia gauntlet will be happening with Ricky Starks. And we get Jamie Hayter versus the Bunny. That's what we're going to be reviewing next week. Sounds like a big show because they announced all the matches. There was no like, we're going to announce it on Rampage. It was, no, it's done. This is what's going down. So, okay. And now it's time for the main event. I love when Mark Henry says that. TNT Championship no holds barred match. The TNT champion Darby Allin will defend the title against the Ring of Honor World Television Champion Samoa Joe. Joe calls himself the King of Cable, and he was going to prove tonight why Darby wrestling him and defeating him for that TNT Championship was the biggest mistake he ever made. Darby Allin is crazy. The man is crazy. He is the modern day Jeff Hardy for fans. Darby Allin comes out, bro, in a thumbtack hoodie. Look at this dude. Tell me he is not just tripping as a character. He comes out in a thumbtack hoodie. Eventually, Joe was able to get away. Joe's like, I got plans. I'm going to go get a table. I'm going to get a table. He gets a table. He pulls it out. Now, the front side of the table is facing towards the ring. Darby's getting up. We know what Darby's about to do, but Joe can't see it because he's picking up the table. The metal side of the table is there. Darby dives through the ropes like he always does, like he shot out of a cannon, which is the best way to do those dives. And if it were me, that's the only way you should be doing those dives and making it look like that. Darby shoots through, pushes the table into Joe. Joe immediately cuts his face, and Samoa Joe is pissed. Like, you could tell instantly, he was like, oh crap, I'm bleeding. And he went to another level. Hopefully that's something they put in Fight Forever. He had the blood. He's in another level now. Now he's in rage mode. Samoa Joe is pissed. Darby's got him. Joe's bleeding right above his eye. You can see the cut. It's pretty gnarly. It's nasty. Joe then is battling. They go into the crowd. He whipped Darby across. Darby hits the perfect slide across over the rail and landed on his feet, and he had to sell it after, but he landed perfectly. It looked so good, but I could tell that I was like barely touched, and it looked great. Joe beats him down. He slammed him at one point on top of where the stairs are, where the fans are. Listen, number one, them stairs are sticky. They're nasty as hell from people spilling their pop and popcorn. You know people don't clean up after themselves in that arena. Darby, you're tripping, bro. And them stairs in Buffalo, at least, they're like concrete, bro. Tripping. But I had flashbacks to when Joe, if you guys remember Bound for Glory, I think it was 07 or 08 where he faced Kurt Angle, and where Joe did that dive. Or no, that was against Sting maybe. Maybe it was later. Maybe it was 08 against Sting. But Joe did a dive and landed on that same area, and I was like, yo, why is Samoa Joe tripping like this, bro? Unforgettable. You'll see it in all the TNA highlight packages. It looks like he jumps over a rail, but Joe lands like on concrete on his back, and I was like, why did they do that? But it's a moment now. Crazy moment. I wouldn't have did it, but it's a moment. Joe sets up two chairs in the ring. They make their way back into the ring. He basically slams Darby onto them from the back body drop position. Boom, Darby's on him. Painful. I could feel the back crack when he did that. Darby's grabbing his back in pain. I don't know where Darby went. Samoa Joe gets white powder thrown into his face. I was hoping he went cocaine bear after that happened, but like Joe's got powder in his face. His cut is bleeding still. Ugh, just nasty. Darby then gets up top. He hits the coffin drop with the partially worn thumbtack hoodie, but only gets a 2 count. Joe was still able to kick out. And I like it. It was only partially covered. I was like, okay, Joe's making sure he fights out of this. Darby gets a chair and starts swinging for the fences. Darby's going up to the top rope, and Joe grabs the ref and pushes him into the ropes to knock Darby on his yam bag, as Taz would say. And while he is up there, we have to remember earlier in the match, and I didn't mention this, when Joe was down for a while, Darby took a razor blade out, and a razor blade, and he kind of went around with a utility knife, cut all of the holders for the ring apron, the ring skirt. He pulled out the mats from underneath. So there is the wood exposed underneath the ring. And so Joe catches him. He falls on the yam bag. Darby's hurting a little bit. Joe goes up, and I'm like, oh, Joe's just going to deliver a big suplex or something. He picks this man up for the muscle buster from the second rope, and he falls back. The moment I saw it, I was like, yo, dog, Joe's about to win. Because there's no way, unless something happens right here, Joe's about to win. Joe goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Samoa Joe is once again the king of television. He is now Champ Joe for the second time. I can't believe Darby lost. I would definitely be interested in hearing what you guys thought of this match. But then who decides to come out? Somebody got a haircut. Wardlow comes out with the short haircut. This is where I thought of the end. I was like, oh, because someone was like, no one cares about Wardlow anymore. I'm like, no, the ladies care about Wardlow. I see him on Twitter. I hear them talking about, and I'm using their words, not mine, War Daddy. They are big fans of Wardlow. So Wardlow comes out with the short haircut. He is in beast mode. He starts beating up the security as Joe runs away from him. He was about to power somebody. They end it with the WCW Nitro ending. We'll be back next week. There is mayhem happening on this show. And they go off the air with that. Man, wild how they ended it. I thought it was good. Please, chat your ratings for the show tonight. Let me know. BJ said, I'm feeling hype again about AEW. I was really worried for a minute when I wasn't. Yeah, they, like I said, isn't it funny when the creative changes? Like I said, the Triple H stuff was temporary, but now once people heard, oh, VKM might be back, it changed. It's gonna fluctuate like that all the time. Get worried when it's a year, 2 years, 3 years of, man, they're not really coming back. Then that's when you have to start looking at it. You should probably do something different. But I hear you, BJ. The thumbtack jacket was a cool DIY project. Don't give any of those high schoolers any ideas, Matt. Let me just put some tags in these and walk around school with this. Conrad, if we were ever to get this dream match, where should it take place? WWE or AEW? Undertaker versus Sting. I think you would not get that match. But if it had to take place, I would say I'd like to see it in WWE. Only because they have all the WCW Sting footage. You can give Sting the crow music. This match would be pomp and circumstance. The entrances would have to be off the chain. Highlight video packages have to be off the chain. So that's why I say that. We really need that dream match along with Stone Cold versus Goldberg. Could happen. Could happen at Mania. I don't know if Stone Cold, rumor is Stone Cold doesn't want a match really. So Darby with the thumbtack hoodie was cool. BFG 2008. Yo, BJ, dead serious about Cocaine Bear, bro. Like when he threw that into his face, that's all I could think of because we kept seeing those commercials for it throughout the night. I was like, Joe should have just became enraged and was ready to choke him out. McKinney says, I got to see this match in its entirety. Dude, it was a really good match. Like that's my match of the night, easily. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. It is. It is. That was a sick main event. And then it's war. Let's see here. Joe's going to beat Wardlow. I don't know. I don't know if he could pull that off. Rip to that security guard. Yeah, he went down. She said, yes, War Daddy looking slick, knocking out security. Matt Lopez giving his show. He says 8 out of 10. EPW 10 out of 10. Terrell, I think he's given the AEW show 10 out of 10. Okay. Okay. And you guys can do thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you like. Then in between, if you guys got questions, let's throw them in there. We'll try to wrap this up here in a few minutes. But if anybody's got something that they wanted to talk about, bring up, feel free. This is your chance to do so. Much appreciated. If it were me, if I'm going a grade on this show tonight for just television show, this is a B+ show. This was solid. I really don't have too many complaints. I thought I had a really fun time watching this. Wednesday is my favorite night to watch wrestling now. Like, it's been like that for a couple years now, since the start of AEW. I really enjoy Wednesdays. Like, it always just gets me hyped to sit back and watch some of that. BJ comes in. AEW gets an 8.6. EPW 10 out of 10 and an honorary hate for the down Derek. Feel better. Deanna says 8.25. EPW 10. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. We won't go too long. Tony Khan is I can't. That's slander. All right, we don't know. We got the Fight Forever rating now. Release the game. I think we're going to hear about that. I think they're going to save that for that IGN Fan Fest, is my prediction when we get the release date. Knock on wood. And I think it's going to be in May. I think it's going to coincide with Double or Nothing. And that's when I think we're going to start getting to see some of the people back. Like, I think Christian will return around that time. So give it some time. Let's see what they do here. They've got 3 months to polish up whatever else they need to put the final spin on the game. I can't wait to see what they come up with. I really hope the DLC packages are cool. We still haven't heard about that yet. WWE 2K23 is supposedly going to be releasing some gameplay stuff tomorrow. I'm interested to hear about that. That's why I didn't really talk about the trailer today. I knew all the big YouTubers were. We'll see. We'll see if I cover it tomorrow. If not, we can talk about it in the forums, or if you guys have a Discord, sign up for the EPW Discord. And if you can't find it, message me. I'll send you a link immediately. The Discord's kind of live. Like, Jocelyn's in there, E's in there. We definitely talk a lot about different things. We got different sections. We have a promotion section if you guys have projects of your own. But yeah, we got non-wrestling stuff in there. Come on in, man. Everything Pro Wrestling Discord, man. I'm trying to get it so that we can all be one big community and interact with each other and talk things that are wrestling and non-wrestling alike and help each other. So much appreciated. Rated R Tokyo says 10 out of 10 tonight for the show. I want to see more War Games. Yeah, that looked fun in the small clip that they had for it. Your boy Brian Williams, though. Traitor, LOL. Come on now. B-Dub got us War Games, bro. You got to let that go for that at least. I love Brian, man. Brian's always welcome on the show. He's a busy man these days, though. But nothing but love for my man Brian Williams. Nothing but love for you guys, too, in the chat. Keep your eyes peeled. I may end up going live tomorrow. It'll be a random going live, though. I don't even have a thumbnail or anything ready for it, but I could probably throw together something pretty quickly just to discuss about the game. We'll see. So if you guys keep it locked with Everything Pro Wrestling, find a way to help us out this week. I know some of you are already subscribed, but tell a friend. That's the best word of mouth. People's friends trust them. Cray, Matt Lopez, Deanna, BJ. You guys all have friends. If you like it, if you like Everything Pro Wrestling, tell them, come on over, give this dude a subscribe. Check it out. He's got a great community over here. I appreciate all you guys, man. Without you guys, this doesn't go as well. So thank you so much for showing up every week and being here with us. To my partner, Derek, man, I hope you get better, D. I think he'll be back next week. He should be better by then. Nothing but love. Much appreciation for all of you guys. We are out for this episode of Everything Pro Wrestling 1.